we go to joint 3, we've got another round of drinks coming. And we repeated this process all the way to 8 joints, and the whole entire lobby was a full-on party, and the bar was raging. And in every single light that you could look in down any corridor of the hotel, you could see the smoke, like the light going through the smoke. I was like, we set it off. That was like the greatest, that was my most greatest getting high experience ever. I had some hard times at the beginning of the year where I felt like my support system around me wasn't around me at all, and I had no one to count on for practically anything. You know, I really felt alone on a bunch of moments, and was getting depressed. I grew up in Sacramento, and as a kid, I think like anyone else, completely blind to all of reality and learning as you go. You know, having fun when you can, getting in trouble when you get in trouble, and all that stuff. I got 3 records. I want to say I was 3rd grade, somewhere around there, and it was Kiss Alive 2, Queen News for the World, and Saturday Night Fever. From the minute I opened up Kiss Alive 2 and saw the stage, this was exactly what I would be doing. I knew it immediately from seeing that. Never questioned it ever before that, but as soon as I saw that, that was it. I always loved drums originally, and guitar was because all my friends played it. Around, you know, all my friends in my neighborhood played guitar, and whenever they played, I had one friend. He would always turn around when he played, so I could never see what he's doing. I was like, damn man, he's shredding it up, but he won't show me what he's doing. So I never learned. I was more into skateboarding and BMXing and stuff, and it wasn't until I got hit by a car and I was sitting around and a friend came by with his guitar that I actually played the guitar, and I really was into Rat at that time. You know, a lot of those bands, you know, the Motley Crue, and even that was all when Slayer, Metallica, and everybody started first coming out too. At the Round and Round video, there was a moment in the video for whatever, and it stuck in my mind, and it was the power chord, and I never saw a power chord before that, or at least recognized that I saw one, but whatever happened in that video, it got lodged into my memory, and I remember grabbing my friend's guitar and playing power chord. Oh damn, that sounds pretty good. Sounds like everything I hear already, you know, and that was kind of it. You know, it's power chords and palm muting ever since. For me, I was very lucky at the beginning of this year. I was having a hard time. Like I said, because it was coming out of the whole process of making the record, but I felt like, you know, I had some hard times at the beginning of the year where I felt like my support system around me wasn't around me at all, and I had no one to count on for practically anything. You know, I really felt alone on a bunch of moments, and was getting depressed. And I had a good friend of mine. We were talking, and I was explaining to her all the problems that I was having, you know, and she reminded me that we have a privileged life, and I was like, you know, I've always known that, but it really helped to be reminded at it, you know, at that time, and I carry that with me to this moment, and probably will for the rest of my life, because really, I live a privileged life. I get to play guitar for a living, and do what I want every day. I love life. There's volumes and volumes of things to do and enjoy, and my daily experience is often at some point in the day going, fuck, there's just not enough time to do everything I want. You know, but I love golf. That's a great thing. You know, something I really would like to get into, and I talk about it, and I have yet to do it, but I really want to get into charity work. You know, I'm not sure what type of charity and what type of work to get into, but I mean, I definitely would love to do stuff to actually help some people out. I'm tired of seeing people struggling, and most of all because they just don't have the information. I mean, if I could win the lotto tomorrow and have a huge stack of cash, we're going to immediately and instantly be able to help people. We've got capital, but without that, I just got ideas and philosophies, you know, and I feel, you know, that is sometimes more important than the money, because the money comes if you've got a great attitude and a great philosophy. I've been privileged enough to be friends and hang out with Cypress Hill all the time. I think most people will look up and be like, man, if you smoked that with Be Real, you made it, you know, and I've been lucky enough to call him a friend and get high with him whenever I want. Actually, here's a story, and it was with my friend Juan and I, and we We were in Melbourne, Australia, and this was doing the Big Day Out tour. I'm gonna say probably it was 2003, somewhere around there. It was with the Foo Fighters and a bunch of other bands. But we were in Melbourne, and it was the day off, and Juan and I were in the lobby of the hotel, and I rolled this big old joint like I normally do. You know, I used the large papers and it was big fatty, and I was like, let's just smoke it right here, you know. Didn't really make a thing of it other than I was like, I know we're taking a chance, we're in the lobby, right? So we smoked this joint in the lobby, and we're at the Marriott, it's in Melbourne, it's, you know, it's a nice hotel, it's not like a dump or anything like that. We're right in the middle of downtown Melbourne. So we smoked this joint, we ordered a couple drinks. I got this big giant mudslide. It was the biggest drink I ever had. Like, you know, thinking it was gonna be just like a little glass, you know, it was monster. I forgot what Juan had, but we smoked the whole joint and had our drinks and had a great time, and no one said a word to us throughout this whole joint. A large joint between two people, and not once. I said, Juan, I'm gonna roll another one, man. Let's just do this, you know. Nobody said nothing, it's gonna be all right. And so we go to joint 3, we've got another round of drinks coming, and we repeated this process all the way to 8 joints, and the whole entire lobby was a full-on party, and the bar was raging, and in every single light that you could look in down any corridor of the hotel, you could see the smoke, like the light going through the smoke. I was like, we set it off. That was like the greatest, that was my most greatest getting high experience ever. And then we topped it off by repeating the same thing again the next night after we came back from the show, you know, and we were there, and we went back out there, and we just repeated the whole process, only this time we had a little bong with us, and we were just raging, and it was about like 10 o'clock or something like that. We're like, man, we're all totally high and munchies, and we go get some food, some Chinese food in Chinatown right there. Come back, and they saved all our seats in the area where we were at, and then they brought us back our bong on a tray, and they cleaned it for us. They cleaned the bong and served it to us on a tray. It was like, whoa. That is the one getting high experience I could talk about forever. Never be topped. The perspective and perspectives I've gained from being altered state, from being high and everything, are so superior to anything I ever experienced before that. I feel my brain power accelerated way beyond wherever it was when I was not high. Do I want to promote that to children? No, that's not the goal, you know. But as an adult, you know, and you can make your own choices. Best choice I ever made. Gave up alcohol and switched to the weed, and it's been the best. I feel much better about it, you know, after the completion of it, more than the experiences I had when we were making it. And when I say when we were making it, I'm talking about actually writing for it. By the time we got to the point where we were tracking everything, you know, we were all having a great time and making the most of it. It was really funny because all the problems and headbutting that we would have while we're writing it, you know, everybody. You know, Sergio, he's got his own, he's playing his bass lines, and Chino's playing guitar lines over here, and I'm playing my guitar lines, and everybody's playing all their own stuff. And we got all these songs, but everybody's playing their own stuff, like this, and this. They all go together, but they don't go together. So when we got to the point where we were tracking, it was like, well, whose part are we doing? No, my part's better, my part's better, blah, 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 and so on. So again, like I said, the communication, you know, and when we were starting the writing process of this, the only message I kept trying to convey, you know, and communicate with everybody was like, please, let's not be in a rush. You know, we've been doing this for 2 decades now. What's the damn rush? Who cares if it takes 5 or 10 years? All I care about is at the end of 5 or 10, what you get to hear is fucking sick.